Tyler pushes Janet behind him.
Hey, man. Sorry if we woke you up.
Ben doesn't respond. He just stands there, his hand tightening around the knife.
Janet's not feeling well, so I think we're gonna head home early.
Ben's smile widens. He takes a step forward.
What are you doing?
Tyler takes a step toward the door, but Ben mirrors his movements, blocking the way.
Quit messing around. You're freaking us out.
Suddenly, the hallway is plunged back into darkness. Janet screams. The sound of footsteps rushes toward them.
Janet, run!
Tyler pushes Janet toward the broken window. She stumbles over the rug.
Get out of here!
Before she gets to the window, she quickly unzips her bag, retrieving the kitchen knife. Her limbs feel sluggish, but she manages to use the handle of the knife to punch out the rest of the window. She hoists herself up, through the window and outside. As she hits the ground, she twists her ankle and lets out a shriek. As she tries to stumble to her feet, she hears a crash come from inside the house.
Tyler! Tyler!
Janet stands and stares back through the window. Nothing but silence from the house. She panics, not knowing what to do. Go back in for Tyler, or run. Before she can decide, a sing-song voice rings out from the front of the house.
Janet! Where'd you run off to?
A dark figure emerges from around the corner of the house.
Good. You got your knife.
Janet bursts into a sprint in the opposite direction, tears blurring her vision. She doesn't know where she's going. She just knows she has to get away. She reaches the woods and frantically looks back for Kate, but her foot catches on a root and she falls to the forest floor, her outstretched hand landing on the knife. Her ankle throbs. The wound on her hand gushes with blood. Janet crawls behind a large bush, hugging her knees tightly to her chest.
Are you feeling okay, sweetie?
Janet tries to steady her breath, trying to still her shaking body.
You know, you really shouldn't accept a drink from a stranger. You made the same mistake that night at the party. A glass of wine for me and you are out like a light.
Janet holds her breath as Kate walks by the bush. Kate scans the area around her.
I knew then you'd be perfect for our little game. You see, letting those frogs loose was how Ben and I fell in love. We both knew we had to give the frogs the chance to run, so we could hunt them down.
Janet feels like her heart is going to burst out of her chest. She can hear Kate's feet crunching on the ground, circling her.
We have so many shared interests, Ben and I. The same interest in hunting, well, a particular type of hunting. We like to let our animals go first. It's more fun that way. But of course, hunting animals got too boring.
Kate prowls closer, checking behind every tree.
So we found new prey. Prey that is much more unpredictable.
Kate's footsteps start to fade, and then there's silence. Janet is unable to move. After a few moments, she takes a breath, chancing a glance from behind the bush. Kate is nowhere to be seen. Janet waits for what seems like hours. Then she begins to crawl from behind the bush. She stands, her ankle and legs aching, as she moves back toward the house. She has to find Tyler.
There you are!
Janet spins around, her heart stopping, as she sees Kate making her way down the dock and toward her.
I was silly enough to think you might have jumped in the lake. See? Unpredictable.
Janet spins around, sprinting back toward the woods. Kate's laugh follows close behind her, echoing off the trees.
You're faster than I thought you would be. How fun.
Janet feels a sharp movement fly past her ear. An arrow, which lands with a thud in the tree in front of her.
Oopsies! Looks like I missed.
Janet swerves to the right. ducking beneath a tree branch as she continues to sprint. Kate laughs again, a girlish giggle that sounds closer than before. Suddenly, Janet clears the trees. She's running down the road that leads to the house. Janet dares a look over her shoulder, but sees nothing.
No use in running anymore. I got you.
A stabbing pain shoots through Janet's calf, and she falls to the ground, sobbing, staring at the arrow protruding from her leg. She hears a crunch behind her, and slowly turns around. Kate stands in the middle of the road, another arrow pointed directly between Janet's eyes.
Looks like you weren't a hard catch after all. Oh well.
Kate draws her arm back, tightening the bow. Janet closes her eyes and takes a breath, picturing Tyler, and wishing she'd never insisted on this lake house trip. A dull light begins to fill her vision as she clenches her eyes shut, waiting for the moment the arrow is let loose. But then the light gets brighter.
What the?
There's an explosive, sharp thud, and Janet opens her eyes. Car headlights soak Janet in a bright yellow. Kate lies motionless atop the windshield. Tyler stumbles out of the car, a large gash across his arm, his nose splattered with blood. He runs to Janet's side, grabbing her into his arms.
But where's Ben?
I don't know. Dead, maybe. He had his knife against my throat, but I grabbed a shard of glass from the broken window and stabbed him. Then I ran to find you. Thank God I could hear Kate from the road.
Just then, Kate lets out a groan.
What do we do?
We tie them up and call the police.
Janet nods as Tyler makes his way back to his car. He grabs some cables from the trunk and starts wrapping them around Kate's wrists and feet. Kate wanes in and out of consciousness, her mouth moving to form one word.
Unpredictable.
2 days later, Janet runs her fingers through Tyler's hair, her computer on his lap. The online article reads, "Killer couple captured. Dozens of missing cases solved." Janet stares at Kate and Ben's mugshots, bruises and cuts etched on their faces.
You know, it's funny.
What is?
I actually told Kate I was worried that you were getting bored with me.
Tyler snorts, shutting the laptop and turning toward Janet.
Babe, even if you didn't take me to that lake, and if we weren't almost murdered by two maniacs, I could still never be bored with you.
Janet smiles as Tyler kisses her lips.
I'm dating the most interesting person I know, and I wouldn't have it any other way.